Season 1 of Dune Prophecy has wrapped with all 6 episodes, and there's no one to root for yet. Hi. Thank you for tuning in to the Tom Batelson Show. Yeah, I saw Dune Prophecy. I saw all 6 episodes for a season. When did this happen where a season is 6 episodes? I think season 1 of Star Trek The Next Generation is 23, 24 episodes long, and now we live in the age where there's a 12-episode season, 10 episodes, 8 episodes, now there's 6. I know the answer is money. The answer is always money, but anyway, 6 episodes in season 1. Spoiler alert, this is going to be loaded full of spoilers and things. This is another show on HBO's long line of, well, we had Game of Thrones and Game of Thrones House of the Dragon, Succession, and now Dune Prophecy, HBO's show about terrible people. Terrible people shows. That's what HBO gives us right here is the terrible people shows. It is all lust for power, like the quote says. Power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. This takes place, like I said in my preview, 10,000 years before Paul. 10,000 years before the events of Dune Part 1 and Part 2 and the original book by Frank Herbert. This takes 10,000 years. But as you're watching it, it could have been 5 years before the birth of Paul. Honestly. There's not enough difference. There's not enough change. Everything looks the same, sounds the same, feels the same. 10,000 years? Sure. They're only telling us that so they don't have to connect any of the dots. I get it. I get that. But another reason why it looks the same, I believe what they're going for is there's a law against thinking machines. Artificial intelligence is banned and will get you killed if you make a thinking machine. So maybe that's how they're saying that nothing has changed in 10,000 years. I don't know. Everything stays the same. Season 1 has a big plot centering around the Bene Gesserit, who are the weird truth-saying witches coven. They're mysterious, they're opportunistic, they're puppet masters of the royals, and they're trying to control, they lust for power more than anything else, and they're run by this murderous wackadoodle. Honestly, this completely murderous wackadoodle who wants nothing. She's a Harkonnen, so I guess they're still bad, although the Atreides aren't necessarily good, and the Emperor's somebody different, I don't know. And then there's Desmond Hart, there's this guy who's played by Travis Fimmel, I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, who, what do you know, he's another murderous wackadoodle, because he used to be on this show. And I don't know if you ever watched him on this show, but can you guess what he played? Murderous wackadoodle. Yeah, that's his thing. His character, Desmond Hart, used to live on Arrakis and has all of this information, even though he doesn't seem to tell anybody any specifics about Arrakis, meaning this 10,000 years before, and we still don't know about the Fremen and whatnot, but he has developed some sort of power when he was there, allowing people to burn them from the inside out. I don't know how that happens, but his connection to the worm, and it has something to do. It's all very mysterious and pretty enjoyable. That's the part of the show I enjoy because I don't have the answers. I'm like, oh, what the hell's that? That is a thing. But yeah, he's off to murder people for power or for what we don't exactly know yet. And that is the most, I'll say, confusing part about season 1. Okay. Season 1s usually are an introduction to the characters and a basis of who we're going to see coming up. You got a make-believe place with make-believe people who come from make-believe houses, and everybody's got a different name which doesn't match any of the names you know. It's a lot to memorize and take in. And the Bene Gesserit especially are all dressed the same, with the hair in the same way, so it's difficult to figure out who's who. And then they go back in time to show us who these characters used to be, and that's more faces to memorize and more characters to learn. It's a lot in 6 episodes to cram in. But they did so. I was happy to see Mark Strong in that, and then to find out he's not going to be in season 2. Again, spoil, you already know, he dies, everybody dies. Lots of folks died and get burned from the inside out, and it's all just a grab for power, so let's see where it goes. But honestly, I enjoyed the last 3 episodes. The first 3 were really rough. For the reason I said, it's confusing to get all this information. Who doesn't like each other? Who's cheating on another person? Who's next in line for power? Who will never get in line for power? It's all, yes, there's so much going on in this show, but I'm kind of digging it. I'm digging it. I love Dune as a franchise, so I love the whole idea of Arrakis and the spice and whatnot. But yeah, and there's a rebel class trying to take over the royal, trying to blow up this and that. So everybody, again, it's all lust for power. Even the people who feel they have no power want to take over so they can have power. It is just a power grab, like the novels are. But yeah, I'm digging it so far. My apologies that this isn't going to be a breakdown of who the characters are, who they're related to, what their position is, whether they live or die in season 1, and how it's all going to relate. Because just like Game of Thrones, House of Dragons, it's going to be a lot of flip-flopping and a lot of changing alliances and a lot of backstabbing and a lot of power grab. It's difficult. It's why it was so difficult for 6 episodes to get all this stuff crammed in. But you can find that online. You can absolutely find out who these characters are and what happens. Because between season 1 and season 2, if there is a season 2, I'm going to need a refresher. I'm going to need a refresher to find out who everybody is. But my apologies for not discussing who everybody specifically is and who they work for, because they're just changing sides so quickly. Yeah, I was going to do a football analogy and say, in between the seasons, there's a lot of changing in teams. There's a lot of changing of teams going on, and I don't know who anybody is yet. But my apologies for, not putting that in the review. That'll do it for my thoughts on Dune Prophecy Season 1. Please let me know in the comments, are you watching this? Are you down for this? Does it follow along with the movies? It has the same look and the same feel as the production of the movies. For a TV show, it looks really good. It looks epic. It looks grand. The music is great, by the way. If you get a chance, if you're watching this by yourself, like I often am, I wear my headphones and listen to it that way because the score comes through. Otherwise, there's a lot of whispering. This happens in a lot of shows where there's a lot of subterfuge and there's a lot of whispering. You have to crank it up, and then you got to crank it back down. You got to crank it up. You got to crank it back down. Headphones. Recommend the headphones. It is pretty good stuff. Let me know what you think. Are you watching this show? Is Dune one of your franchises? Star Trek, Star Wars, Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings. Is Dune in there? Where does it fall? Like and subscribe if you like this content. Hit that notification bell so you know when my stuff drops. It drops on Sunday. My next review, my next show will be from my new space. This will all change. This will all look different-ish. But yeah, it's going to be very exciting. Next week you will see the brand new set, the brand new setup, and a brand new review, a brand new show. I don't know what it's going to be. I'll have to figure that out in the next couple of weeks. So anyways, thanks for coming with me on the journey. Let's nerd out together. Let's find things that we love and indulge in our nerddom together. Till I see you next time, as always, peace, love, live long, and prosper. And I mean it.